Hello students, this is Mrs. Molekin again, and today we're going to learn, we're going to start very simple, and we're going to start first about the learning about the meanings of the numbers 1 through 9. So we're going to start off like a general view, and then we're going to start getting very specific and learning what the vibration, the main vibration of each number is, and then we'll be learning about your birthday, your personal numbers. Then we'll be learning about your Kabbalistic numbers or your soul numbers, and then we'll go right full blown into the divine triangle, how to calculate that, because that can actually take a while. And what we're gonna do is first we're gonna go through some of the theory. So you know more of the basic numerology, and then we're gonna do the calculations on a blackboard. So sometimes we'll have the calculations also as we go through the PowerPoint, and then we'll also do it on the blackboard so you can see where the numbers come from, because as we get more in depth on calculating things past the basic 4 personal numbers, things especially studying the divine triangle, then it becomes more difficult to follow. So we're going to try to do everything so you can see where the numbers come from. So numbers 1 through 9, science claims that in a vacuum nothing exists, and in time hydrogen ions spring into existence. And one, as we talk about, is, and you know, if you're a religious person or spiritual person, and you read the Bible, or you know, you have read the Kabbalah or other books, you will know that normally most religions and faiths spring into existence, and they talk about the number 1 as being the first digit in the series of numbers. And the one in numerology represents the ion, the beginning, the genesis, the first spark of energy emerging from the original source, wherever that might be. It stands alone and isolated because it is the first, and there is no other. It is independent of outside influences of assistance because it has chosen to seek its own self-expression, and therefore cannot be encumbered or swayed. It is decisive and independent, and makes the choices necessary to ultimately determine its destiny. Even in Chinese and Eastern traditions, the number 1 represents the male principle, the young. It is the pioneer, the striking it out alone, the seeking the experiences which will establish its identity. Sometimes, when reflected on people and persons that have their major vibration as number 1, we talk about people that have very raw energy, that are in the process of discovering its own abilities, and they're positive and original and creative. We have a lot of entrepreneurs using number 1, and always in a state of perpetual motion. The 1 is also called the I am of humanity, the unity of all, and the unity of vibrational measuring and of self-consciousness. So some of the keywords that are associated with people that have the number 1, and we will later, we're gonna see how your number will come up to. Normally people have 4 personal numbers, and then they have a major vibration number. So if number 1 keeps coming to you all the time, out of your numbers, you're an original and independent person, sometimes aggressive, individualistic, creative, and dominant, the first on a series, the start of any operation or activity. What we call, in a career-oriented world, we'll call this person a leader or a pioneer, even sometimes he who goes forth. Now let's talk about number 2, the pair, the duo. The pair is, the number 2 is changeable. It can also be indecisive. Therefore, a duality there is the goal between the diplomat, the peacemaker, because unity can only be accomplished through a meeting of minds and compromise on each side. 2 represents the feminine principle in most Eastern and Western religions and faiths. The yin. It seeks the union of 2 distinct entities. So it collects and assimilates. It is in the gestation period in which seeds begin to form. Number 2 seeks a balance between opposing forces and therefore represents cooperation, attachment, and partnership. Normally, people that have number 2 as the vibration number are peacemakers, are like to collaborate. Although they are keenly aware of opposites views, they have a sense of rhythm and harmony. And a lot of people that have number 2, that's why music attracts them so much, because music appeals to their sympathetic and emotional nature. They're maternal, as it is the female principle, patient and sensitive. Is understanding and very empathetic of others. So you might find people with a number 2 vibration in healing or professions, or you know, for example, like in social professions such as social workers, psychologists. Number 1 and number 2 personalities of vibration 1 and 2 will be attracted to each other since they are, as we said with number 1, the hydrogen ions sprang into existence, but now with number 2, they are by the law of attraction drawn to the number 2 because they are opposites of each other. We will see this later on, how it comes also to play in relationships. The keywords for a person with number 2 are adaptable, tactful, understanding, gentle, cautious, and a follower more than a leader. Now, what about number 3? But number 3 is a combination of 1 and 2. And it is it's fascinating how, if we were talking about vibration in the science, world, for example, auditory vibration, normally we talk about waves and how we have a wave that is, on a certain frequency that is attractive, and the other one can be a distortion. And it's interesting how 1 and 2 in the science world can be waves that either they join together very well or they are distorted of each other. However, with 3, it becomes a self-expression. So now the ion, which sprang into existence from 0, sought to assert its individuality under 1, felt the attraction of 2, and now awakens in need for social interaction. So 3, people that have vibration number 3 are in the need to communicate and become involved in the pure joy of living. They're very exuberant, they're very extrovert and enthusiastic. They're people that normally are those kind of people that when you enter a room or they enter a room, they are very charming, they're like magnets, they attract people. And they also are very good at drawing others and inspiring others. They have high creative imagination, and but also they get involved a lot into emotions and experiences. They're very friendly and expansive, and they normally thrive on being sociable, humanistic. They're effervescent. So some of the keywords for a person with a 3 vibration will be somebody that's sociable, dramatic at times. They're very communicative, very diverse, and very creative. what we will call sometimes a little bit of a social butterfly, right? Now, number 4 is the number of stability. Number 4 is the symbol of law, system, and order. It is secure, stable, conservative. It is normally attributed to those people that their vibration is that of a builder. I have to say that as alchemy goes, the number 4 is in nature, and it relates to earth, and also they are the predominant elements. So it goes down already to the root and the formation of the earth that took place on the 4th day in the biblical story of creation, if you are a Christian. So the 4 is they have a concentration of all the energies. So in the formation, when we're talking about the beginning, there's a concentration of energy that comes from the ions realizing that they can no longer scatter their energies, they cannot go by themselves, that they have to do more than just being on a duo or a combination of 3. And then the things start going into a sort of stability, and 4 develops its practical nature. So the number 4, this number will bring about people that are very productive. They have an orderly system of doing things. They bind themselves to routines, and everything has to do, their exercise of energy has to do with discipline. So the keywords for this person will be work, order, practicality, construction, stability, endurance, discipline. Now let's talk about number 5. Number 5 is almost the opposite. It has to do with freedom and change and adventure. So curiosity, constant activity, but these are people that are very resourceful, they're adaptable, and they're ready to take chances. Normally entrepreneurs will have 1 and 5 as their 2 numbers for vibration. Since 5 is in the midpoint in a cycle between 1 and 9, we'll see later that it allows for decision making. And so it might be many opportunities come to people that have that number, number 5. But also, although good opportunities might come to the people that are ringing or have a vibration of number 5, they will have a tougher time to making decisions because they have so much freedom of choice. 5 has also to do with interaction of groups and crowds, and the person that is with vibration 5 will have very experiences. He will be a natural promoter or advertiser. People that are in marketing are really good and have a lot of the vibration of number 5. They like to travel, they communicate, and also are very attractive to the opposite sex because they're irresistible. They have magnetism and charm that's different. Now, let's go to number 6. Well, keywords for 5 would be versatility and change, travel, adventure, promotion, and speculation. Although, because we have to think too that every number from 1 through 9, just like, because when we start relating it to personalities, and if we measure or join numerology with psychology, then and we go into personalities, we also there's a dark part of the number or a weaker part of the number of people that have number 5. So every number has a virtue and also a setback, depending how far, as far as it comes to an individual, how far that individual will take it. But we can talk later on about that. Number 6 is person that have number 6 has to do with conscience, being conscientious, and desiring to bring harmony and truth and justice and balance to their own environment. Most of the time, people with number 6 vibration will have love and compassion, and can be normally very effective teachers, counselors, and healers. And if you're the natural of that, you can see these on your divine triangle. Later on, when we do the divine triangle, you will find number 6 in the middle of the triangle. And normally number 6 desires a close companion in marriage, in a home and a family where beauty and harmony prevail. And everything follows a progression, and in numerology, every number takes from the one before. And sort of like a growth. As you can see, 1 was male principle, 2 was the female, then 3 was the combination of 1 and 2, and then 4 was the stability, and then 5, start experiencing some freedom. So it's all about growth as we go through the numbers 1 through 9. And number 5 have had the opportunity to experience many events and emotional encounters. So now they're ready to take on social and family responsibilities. So that's the 6th vibration. The number 6 person is a domestic and artistic vibration. And this is the number of, maybe sometimes they adjust too much to the desire of others. They're gifted in the arts, and they want to be or conserve an element of community, and also express themselves through creative potential. If you're an artist, you might be a strong number 6, or being between 5 and 6. Now, some of the keywords are family and social responsibility and service, love, compassion, counseling, healing, and creativity. The number 7. Number 7, people under vibration 7 try to establish a philosophy in which they live and attempt to penetrate the mystery behind its existence, which has never been questioned until that point. And because solitude is necessary for this analysis, people that vibrate at the number 7 feel that they need to spend some time alone, away from the crowds, and in touch with nature. Sometimes they will look for people that can match their friendship with those of elevated consciousness that can match his own. In the Bible, it says that on the 7th day God rested, and all the things rest under number 7, because time is needed in which to think. Goals that have been long sought normally are attained for people that have the number 7. Although 7 is a sacred number, it is also a philosophical and a spiritual and metaphysical number. If you believe in incarnations or in past lives, normally when you see number 7 in your numerology report or 7 on your divine triangle, you will know that in this life, this is a sacred number, and that the pursuit of number 7, that is a pursuit of something that is philosophical or spiritual, will be part of your work this time around. It is also the number of scientists and philosophers, teachers, mystics, and clergy. And also, it relates to the health of the body through this vibration. So people that are in this life, teachers or healers or scientists, it also, remember, had to do with their physical, they might be experiencing some physical problems or health issues in this lifetime around. The keywords for number 7 are analytical, inspirational, reclusive, philosophical, mystical, and introspective, and quiet. Now let's go to number 8. So number 8, people with number 8 vibration have achieved control and responsibility in his chosen field. These are people that have been recognized, they have financial rewards. As you can tell, 8 is the number of money. And they're also entrepreneurs, but entrepreneurs that are successful. They have a real business, a real in the world, in the physical world. And under 8, karma is king, and power is the quality associated with the number 8. The ability to see what others cannot see in broad terms and give it to ambition and other qualities to achieve material goals. So, through fair and ethical standards, good judgment, and organizational abilities, keywords for this number are power, responsibility, financial rewards, good judgment, and recognition. And finally, 9. 9, people with number 9 are selfless and compassionate. And compassionate and love for all, as you can see, seems sort of like the end of a cycle of growth. They're generous and benevolent and really patient. These are people that are artists or thinkers who have developed these skills from the preceding cycles that they have been through. 9 is the closing cycle and is the final stage of completion. 9 also is a sacred number, or a spiritual sacred number. When it's done willingly, this completion experienced by 9 brings only the joy of gift of life and freedom, which you enter the next cycle over. Words for number 9, people that vibrate number 9 are love, compassion, patience, universality, that's a big one, tolerance, and endings. I hope that you enjoyed to know a little bit about the main vibration and symbolism of the numbers 1 through 9. In the next video, we're going to learn about your personal numbers and start doing some numerology in the blackboard. I'll see you then.